Hello, everyone. This here is Michelo, and this is one of the first videos I will be doing for this series. I shouldn't even say series. I want to do I want to do videos for my YouTube channel that are conversational, although that's kind of hard because it's just one way. It's me talking about certain thoughts and ideas and ideology to some degree, and just certain things that I've pondered and questions that I have asked myself, and some I've answered as well. So I guess that makes me kind of borderline crazy, just a little bit, I guess. And so at least I'm not in denial. But anyway, this is, yeah, I don't know what these videos will turn out to be. The name of my channel, my YouTube channel, is called Sit and Chill. It's a working channel title. And I've changed it before. It was Olekum. And, it's just, that's kind of a hard name to type and write and recognize. And so, I've just been trying to, just think of a name that's, I don't know, creative, but then easy to recognize as well. And so, Sit and Chill. And the whole premise behind that is that, hey, hopefully you're sitting down. You don't have to be, but if you are, in most cases, people are, if they're watching a video or listening to a podcast, they're sitting somewhere, on a chair, on a seat, in the bathroom, somewhere. And so, and the whole idea is that, hey, we're just chilling, we're just having a conversation. And I guess the best way to have this conversation is just to leave comments, to leave questions, particularly on certain subject matter that you would want discussed. And I hope you do that. And if it's just, hey, you just want to listen to um, just someone else's point of view, just feel free to listen as well. You don't have to make a comment. So a lot of these, like I said, topics and themes are just my thoughts. And so, uh, and it could just be a reflection of something that happened, globally, nationally. And so anyway, that's enough rambling on with that, and that's enough just you just looking at the screen, and so I thought it would be helpful not just to hear my monotone voice, and I'll try to um, make that make this listening experience as painless as possible. And so, uh, of course, this will do that when I am recording, of course. All right, so what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to have to get used to this while I'm drawing and talking, and not necessarily commentating on what I'm drawing and just talking, and of the drawing as background music, and so what I'm drawing doesn't necessarily is going to have any sort of relation to what I'm talking about, and perhaps sometimes it may, but for now I don't think so. And so yeah, so the question that I have in mind is just one of those just famous questions of just why are we here, and just what's our purpose, what's the purpose of living, And is life worth living? Is it? And you can, um, I guess, think about, well, quality of life. If someone had an accident of some sort, and they're no longer um, themselves, and for someone else looking on the outside in may come to a conclusion like, man, is it worth just continuing? Why not just throw in the towel? And you're very excuse and right to do so, because you've been dealt a really crappy card, you know. And of course, others will have different opinions regarding that, and but is it? Is life worth living? Um, Particularly if you are, you know, dealt like I said, just a really crappy hand. Where there's your upbringing, you got a real tough time in your childhood, and just whether it was like abuse or just hardships, just growing up, just parents not having enough money, or you know, or just you didn't have enough clothes, um, or the condition of your clothes and the condition of just your living experience. Um, you know, a lot of folks look at that in perspective and like, man, you know, you know, why do I have to go through all of this? And so, and then even beyond that, too, sometimes it's just, sometimes you think, am I contributing at all to humanity? Am I, um, just giving just full effort, or not even effort, but just, if I'm, that age-old question, man, if I'm not here any longer, is anyone gonna miss me? Is there, am I contributing enough? And because it seems like others have more to give and have more to offer, and so, and I'm sure there's like, I mean, there's billions of people, and I'm sure there's so many different scenarios. I can't even begin to think of them all. A lot of the ones that I've mentioned are sometimes, and I hate to say cliche, but it's sometimes the most common ones. Um, but it can be an extension of so many other things. Because honestly, it can be that folks who had everything that they ever wanted, and there wasn't any real struggle. I guess if there was a struggle, it perhaps was the the struggle of having everything given to you, and I guess not having to work, or have that experience of, wow, okay, the effort that was put in to achieve this, and that's and that has contributed to people pondering too, like, man, is my life worth living? It's like, and I think it's harder to accept or to understand from that viewpoint. That viewpoint of, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? I think it's influential. I think it is. No, that geez, influential. My goodness, I think that's I think that's like a medical or an illness. But the affluent, that, man, I have it all, and that's driving me crazy. And so, So my thoughts, is life worth living? I believe it is. And it's going to be hard not to um, spiritualize my viewpoint, and even beyond that, or I shouldn't say beyond that, aside from that, it's just the joy in life, the joy in living, uh, even with hardships, and being able to overcome those hardships, even in like small victories. Um, let's say school life. Oh, you think, man, I don't have any friends. People don't like me. I'm not with the popular crowd, and my life sucks. You know, to hell with it. Um, you know, no one's gonna miss me if I'm not here any longer, and that's honestly not true. Uh, you may not have 500 or 800 or 1,000 friends on Facebook or followers between your, on Instagram or Twitter, um, and that's really not the barometer of the value of your life within that example that I'm using right now. And so, experiencing the small victories would be accepting who you are, being comfortable inside your own skin. And once you become comfortable inside your own skin and who you are, you'll be able to see the world differently. You'll no longer see it through the prism of, or the filter of, how can I fit in? But you'll see it as, hey, this is my life. These are my personality traits, and I don't need to fit in. I just need to find my place. I need to do my thing. I need to express my personality in a very genuine, authentic, and at times vulnerable way. And even if someone disagrees or shares some negative comment like, "Oh, that's whack," to be okay with it, because it's fine that you think it's whack. You don't like the way I dress, or you don't like the way I speak, or you don't like the way I look. I mean, that's nothing new. There's been just genocide committed on that basis of just not wanting to accept someone else because they're different. So you can have those mini victories, and a lot of them are internal. So if you can deal with those internal victories of, this is who I am, this is my being, this is how I was um, created. Now what do I do? And accept that, because you're unique. There's no one else like you. Even if you're a twin, there's still unique um, facets about you, your personality, your characteristics. Um, and so you have to come to a point where you are loving yourself and and you're comfortable in your skin. You're comfortable being who you are, and once you come to grips with that, you are a lot better equipped to move on and say, you know what, I know who I am, and knowing who I am, if there's areas, I shouldn't say if, because we're not perfect beings, so that there will be areas where we need to improve upon, and and once we become aware of just who we are, uh, I just think it makes it much more apparent of the things we need to improve upon, and we are more able to accept those shortcomings and become more vulnerable to make those changes, or to embrace the need to make those changes. Well, not necessarily changes, I should say, but improvements. And so yeah, so just small victories, small victories to just give you that confidence and that evaluation of your worth and value, and I think that will greatly enhance your appreciation of who you are. And so um, I think that's what we need to do, and that's something uh, we need to do sometimes on a daily basis. Because the struggle doesn't stop. It may change and it may take on a new form, but it's not gonna stop. Because you know we all have shitty days. I mean, I'm just being raw, and just really cool with it. I mean, there's just days where it's just it's just like, man, why the hell am I here for? What am I doing? Particularly if when we become so, um, what's the word? We start to compare ourselves with others, and we're like, oh man, she's doing this, or he's doing that, or they look this certain way, and I don't. It's just, um, you know, we get caught up in that foolishness, man. It's just, there's really no need for it, but we still get caught up in it, and it's hard not to. I would be lying if I didn't say that. That's a struggle every now and then for me. That's just like, man. I think of my artwork and I'm like, man, I'm really further behind than I would like to be, or it's like, man, my skill level is not it's not like on that level of where this artist is, and it's like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Started to then just self implode and just self pity, and hey, I'm not doing this. I wish I was, blah blah blah. And then that's the spiral, right? You start going down that alley, and it gets really dark. And if you don't have a solid compass, you'll get lost for a while, and unfortunately, some folks just never return because they just don't know how to. They just get um, truly lost in that thought process of, man, what's my worth, what's my value, and unfortunately they lose it. And so uh, so yeah, so it's a daily battle, And and I think once we come to grasp as well with that reality that hey, you know what, it's not going to be a one-off thing. We're not just going to hit a switch and think positive thoughts and then it'll all go away. I think it is healthy to think positive thoughts, um, but that's not going to be the end all um, solution. So you want to think positively, and but that's something that you're going to have to master on a daily, moment by moment basis. And it is possible with examining and seeing the small victories you can have. And as you build upon those small victories, like I said, firstly, seeing your own value, seeing, hey, you know what? I'm unique and I bring a certain uniqueness to the table of life. And that's truly a wonderful thing because no one else can do that. And and as you purpose to of those many victories, then you develop that self-confidence of, you know, I am here for a reason. And I may not know it exactly at this moment, um, but I will do the things that I know I can do and that I am comfortable and confident in doing. And you build upon that. And as you build upon those small victories, you become so aware of, you know what, yeah. You sort of like, you know, I'm nodding my head. Well, not nodding, but kind of like forward bopping, I guess. It's like, like to a beat. You start to be like, you know what, yeah, yeah, yeah. I have value, and I have a purpose, um, and you may not know all of that at one particular moment in time. It may just be that, hey, you know what? Yeah, man, there's stuff I have to offer in this life, and I need to seek that out. I need to seek out my purpose as I discover myself, and the fact that the journey of self-discovery can be a very pleasant and, renewing one. It doesn't have to be jarring and depressing and comparative to someone else's, and it's like, oh wow, their journey seems so much cooler than mine, and I don't even know if I have a purpose, and I don't know why am I here, and you start to go down that rabbit hole, and it's just like, oh my goodness, you can't see any light in any tunnel, and you don't want to get there. You want to stay far, far away from getting to that point. And so, yeah, so it's important just to really uh, be comfortable in who you are in your own skin, and not just your own skin, but just you are different. You're unique, and that's a beautiful, wonderful thing. And so yeah, so once we get to that point where even if we don't know exactly what our purpose is and you know what are we supposed to actually be doing, the more you accept yourself and you accept the beauty of who you are, um, it just makes that process and that journey uh, that much more enjoyable, even when it's tough. It just makes it like, oh man, you know what? This is rough right now, but I know who I am. I know I bring something to this, this global um, um, table. This universe of life. I bring something, and so when I am something, I am someone, and I have value, and I do have worth, and I think those are two of the same. I think it's synonymous. But I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm worth something, and I have value, and you are. You're worth a lot, and so, um, and you should think that way. Should have that thought process. I have a very unique value, and so, and and the more you see that, and the more you have that perspective, the more grounded you will be, and your compass won't be easily shaken. And despite the times of doubt and um, sometimes self-pity, it'll all change. It will it will change for the better, and you will begin to just experience a whole different point of view, and just less self-pity, less doubt, less um, being easily swayed with the ebbs and flow of life in itself. You'll be a lot more steady. Um, a very, biblically used word. You'll be a lot more steadfast. You'll have an anchor, and and although you may be pushed around, um, you'll have a center, and you'll know, okay, I need to get back to here. And um, so having that perspective is incredibly um, healthy and and um, and necessary, because I think it it's a game changer in the sense of just how you view not just your own life and your worth, but others, and you have an appreciation for life in general, and the times of questioning won't linger as much as they used to. It won't be so much of, oh man, just why am I here? I don't need to be here. No one's gonna miss me. Those moments become less and less, and because you see the value of your life, see the importance of your life, and just the life of others around you, and 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 strangely enough, it just becomes bigger than you, and that changes your perspective. It actually impacts your reality, and so as you walk down that tunnel, you uh, you 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 have this torch of reality that, man, it's rough, but it's not that bad. It's like it's not that bad. And um, so yeah. So life is life worth living. I don't know how long this is. Um, I mean, I can talk and talk um, for ages. It's so hard for me not. Where do I go? Let's see where um, my time frame. I don't know. I should have a timer. Yeah, this won't tell me. Anyway, we won't worry about that. I'll just continue talking. Um, but so yeah, so life. It's the meaning of life, and is it worth living? Man, the meaning of life. I I'm not qualified to answer to answer that question. Uh, yeah, that's a very complicated one. It's um, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be many different people from many different walks of life listening to this. At least that's my hope. Just one more viewer. Um, but if it comes to that point where people are tuning in, there are going to be so many people just with different viewpoints, and so I this this is not necessarily a forum for persuasion and consensus. Um, my little man is crying. I'll be back. I'll have to edit this, but I'll be back. That was my 9 month, my 9 month old little man. Uh, Man, having kids is life worth living. As I drink my ginger tea that has become lukewarm, so it's not really tasty. I completely forgot about it. I also have my water there. Anyway, yeah, man, that was my little man, and man, just having a child definitely influence your perspective on the meaning of life and your worth and value. It's just something they bring out. There's just um, this this truly untangible experience you find yourself in, and you can't really have that full experience just by being a bystander. And by that I mean, like, if you're not a parent, you don't know. You can be an an aunt and a uncle, and you know you you know or even if you're not, you can just be an individual who's just love kids and you're great with them, and but until you are a parent, whether it's through just natural conception or adoption. Uh, you, you just don't get that thorough experience of, oh man, just having another life just being dependent upon you, and then just the joy and love that they begin to develop for you, and as you're caring for them, and so it's it definitely makes life worth living when you experience that love, and um, so yeah, it's just like, oh, so anyway, I thought off tangent a little bit, but hey, I think it's still connected to it, and so yeah, he was just missing his pacifier. Fell out of his crib, and he's like, I want my pacifier. So anyway, so yeah, man, explaining the meaning of life. That's I am educated, not collegiately, but I'm a learned man, uh, and I say that to say I am not fully qualified to explain that question. So why did you pose the question that you cannot explain, Michelle? I don't know, but it is a question. We don't always have to have answers to questions, to ask the questions, or to pose the questions, because they are questions and they're thoughts. I think it's healthy to pose them, to put them out there. It actually makes it a lot more tangible, instead of nebulous, where it's just bouncing around in your mind. When you speak it, it's like, okay, now I've heard the words, I've heard the sentence, or the sentences. What do I make of that? But it just helps to just audibly speak something. Just speak this question. Can I make sense of it that way? But at least it's out there, and so and we don't. No one has all the answers. Oh, I just started talking and looking through a window and not even drawing. But like I said, the drawing part is not. It's supplemental. It's not the main thing about these videos, and so it's just like I say, give you something to look at. As you listen to my voice. And so, but back to the drawing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know the meaning of life. I think I was saying before I had to go and take care of my little man. Um, I am a believer, and so, oh yes, and I was saying, you know, these videos are not going to be a source of consensus or persuasion or proselytizing or anything like that. I just have to be, uh, completely honest and completely forthright and transparent from my point of view, and I welcome any other point of views or comments that like, hey, well, why, and that's how we grow. We ask questions, and hopefully the answers, if there are answers to those specific questions, hopefully they will steer us in growth and development and enlightenment, uh, as we seek to understand. And so yeah, so I'm a believer. I'm a disciple of Christ, and so in part of that, uh, my belief system is that part of life is to bring glory to God, and fulfilling His purposes for your life. Of course, others will have completely different perspectives on that, and so and that's fine. You know, um, let's just have a conversation. Let's have a dialogue on why you know we have different perspectives, and so. But yeah, so beyond that, because sometimes that kind of isolates, you know, unfortunately, folks, oh, okay, here we go, we're getting religious, we're getting spiritual, and it shouldn't, it should illuminate um, our thought process and not isolate. But many times you just can't escape that, and it becomes a part of the narrative, and so. But yeah, just going back to the meaning of life, man. Um, who knows definitively? And but I think it's crucially important to discover that for yourself and to move forward in that discovery. And if there are doubts, continue to seek, continue to investigate, and and hopefully your investigation will lead you to an ironclad um, an ironclad resolution that you can live with, and so yeah. So I don't want to get too caught up in that as far as meaning of life, um, but to just examine just the worth of life, and just how, like, man, it's life is worth living, and there is an immense value on it. So let's just keep living, man. Let's keep living. Let's keep pushing forward. Let's keep um, purposing to love one another, and embrace our differences, and and uh, uh, shed light in the darkness. Um, you know, be being kind, and just um, I want to say accepting of each other. But just being humans, man. But see, the thing is, being human, sometimes you have all the shortcomings with being a human being. You have all the just the weird evilness too. So, like, saying just being human, it's like, oh, I don't know, because what type of human being are you going to be? You know. But I would say just being understanding. I guess I can say, we try to understand each other. I think will make for a better environment, because purposing to we're purposing to investigate, why do you think this way, and not so much why are you this way, or why are you not this way, why are you not like me, but more so, why do you think that way? Help me to understand. I wanna learn, why your thought process is that way, and not so much, hey, why you not like me? you know, because I don't want to be like you, sucker. Yeah, who knows? Um, I mean, it would be really boring if we were all just one type of person, one type of personality. I mean, that would just be, oh my goodness. Imagine everyone sounded like me or looked like me. Oh man, that would not be a good thing. So, um, So yeah, I think I've been rambling a little bit, but hey man, that's what this channel is about. Sit and chill, have a conversation, or at least listen to a conversation. Um, so hopefully this was helpful. Like I said, this is like the first video, so you know how the first time goes. It's like you're fumbling around and like, what do I do? Um, what do I hold on? uh, I should probably try to keep this PG-13, I guess. Um, uh, what the heck? You know, anything the first time or anything is just like, ooh, geez, I don't know what I'm doing. And um, so yeah, so this is the first video, and hopefully it's the first of many. Sometimes it's hard for me to, as you have seen, it's hard for me to um, um, draw, and I mean, honestly, it's just hard to draw and commentate at the same time. I mean, even if I was talking about the the subject matter that I'm illustrating, I sometimes, I can get off track, or uh, it's not as cohesive as cohesive as I would want it to be. Because it's just kind of hard to commentate. I think it's the same too. It's just like a gaming channel. You're playing a game and then you're commentating. You just don't. It's hard to maintain that focus, because you're talking, and and then at the same time you're trying to concentrate on what you're doing as well. And I mean, some people are just really gifted at it, and I think with practice it becomes fluid. Like even within this video, there were certain points where I was just talking and I was just drawing, I was just working, and I think with having a distraction, it's like, oh, okay, I'm resetting. So, well, enough of that explanation. You didn't come here for explanations, or maybe you did. Um, so yeah, so hopefully I answered the questions that I posed. If I didn't, I wasn't a good moderator, you know. But honestly, sometimes I'm gonna ask questions, and it's not even so much for me to have the answers for those questions, but it's just to ask the questions, because it makes us think, and hopefully it will cause you to think, and just sort of just reevaluate, you know, um, or or just stimulate a thought process in your mind, and the hope is not to create, or I should say the purpose is not to create doubt, um, or confusion, uh, but to incite just like thoughtful introspection, and not just for philosophy's sake, but for discovery's sake. Just discovering, just who you are, discovering why we do what we do, discovering why is the world the way it is, just and all sorts of other things. Because sometimes, we just accept certain things for what they are, or for what we perceive them to be, without questioning if they should be perceived that way, or if they should be accepted that way. And so, know that you are valuable, know that you are worth something, and your life is worthwhile, and it has meaning, and it has purpose. And seek out those purposes, seek out those um, your life. You know, it's special, man. So value it. You know, don't let social media or trending uh, issues and people influence what your value is. You're valuable, you're special, you're worthwhile. Remember that. And with that, I am out. I should zoom out on this and get to see what this project is. And it says life, but life is the title, and you know it's not going to change. It just happens to be the title of this comic strip, and just what I'm working on, and so yeah, so it so it's somewhat tied in with the whole shindig, you know, and so, but anyway. Guys, thanks for listening to this first video. I'm not sure if the videos are going to be longer or shorter than this. You know, I'm just going to roll with them. If they're 20 minutes long or 30 minutes long or 40 minutes long or an hour long, you know, so be it. You know, this goes to show great tolerance on your part if you're going to listen to me talk that long. But I really wanted to be just a source of encouragement to you as well. And like I said, sometimes I may be drawing. I think for me, it's I was going to say comforting, but it's just an ease to have a conversation while I'm actually doing something. There may be times where I may just, it just may just be me talking, and I just don't want it to just be that. You know, I want to have some of your sensory, I guess, sensory senses, just some of your sensory. I'll just leave it there. You know, I just want you to be engaged, just multi-sensory. You know, I want you to have multi-sensory engagement. There we go. Multi-sensory engagement. MSE. I want you to have the MSE experience, you know, where you're listening, so you're getting audio, you're getting some visual, you know, we'll work on the tactile somewhere in 2060, 2065. Now I'm being silly. So, see, that's what happens. You know, if I'm not drawing, you know, I'm not centering myself, I'm just going to go on just these wild tangents down the rabbit hole. And so anyway, guys, like I said, thanks for tuning in, if you did tune in. And I'm going to have to try to find a really catchy title. No, I don't need to. You know, because, you know, I have no subscribers right now. Actually, I'm not even doing this for subscription. I'm actually just trying to do this for folks who just want to have someone to talk to. And so that's why I also said, you know, just leave some comments of certain topics that you want to discuss, or you just want some feedback on. You know, this is not like, you know, I mean, it can be therapeutic, but I'm not trying to be a psychiatrist to, you know, solve problems. I just think it's helpful to bounce things off of people, off of walls, and it's just helpful to hear someone talk about a certain situation or concern you may have, particularly if it's to bring about a level of awareness and resolve, you know, hopefully. So yeah, man, so share your comments, share some feedback. This one was just the meaning of life, and is life worth living? This is this probably like part one of a 100-part series in that regard, because it's definitely not all encompassing of what I just said. So there's so many different facets, and so you may just call this part one of that topic. And so yeah, just let me know. Let me know if there's anything else that comes to mind that you've been mulling over, or and it's a lot more easier to put out there. You have the like, you have the anonymity and the confidentiality of you're not exposing yourself, while you're still able to present a question or a thought that you have or have had, and just wanting to, hey, get some feedback on that. So all right, so let's get it out there, spread the word around. Subscribe if you want to. I mean, you don't really need to subscribe if you don't. I'm not trying to do this for a career. I'm just trying to do this to connect with people, and to bring about some form of release. Again, sit and chill. Time just to sit down and let loose. Let engage as you let loose the thoughts of your mind. I should write that down. Engage as you let loose the thoughts of your mind. I'll have to coin that. I should write that down now. I'll write it down right after I end this video. Alright guys, have a great one. You are worthwhile, you're special. Seek out your purpose. Maintain those small victories. You are unique and you have great value. Put those two things together as you journey with the billions of people in discovering your purpose and the meaning of your purpose in this life. Have a great one, guys. Peace out.